Hello, 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 everyone. Yes, yes, yes. I am back again tonight. Welcome. Welcome to the Ella Johnson Show. I am so excited to be here with you guys. I enjoy this. I really, really do enjoy using motivational messages to encourage everyone. We all need it, right? We all have to encourage ourselves one way or the other. That's what it's all about. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. You could be doing anything else on this Thursday evening, but you are here. You chose to stop in and see what old girl had to say, right? Listen, if you're watching from Facebook, thank you. Do me a favor, as I always ask, please share the broadcast. The more people that hear these messages, the better. If you're watching from YouTube, please do me a favor. I want you guys to comment and share with me what your thoughts are on these broadcasts and what you think of the message. Is it helping you? Do you want to hear something different? I mean, I just want to know that you are, in fact, being encouraged with these messages because, kind of helps to know. But if you're watching from YouTube, I would love to get my subscribers up. So you would do me a favor, since you're already there, subscribe to the Ella Johnson Show. Greatly appreciate it. If you're watching from LinkedIn, hello. Wherever you're watching this show tonight, welcome. And thank you so much for tuning into the Ella Johnson Show. Now, tonight, I know I say this every time I come live, but tonight we really do have an interesting show, okay? It's still going to be motivation, but I told you it's always unconventional. It's always going to be that thing you're like, wow, I didn't think about it like that, right? Well, that's what it's all about. Because whatever it takes for you to see things a different way, that's what I enjoy doing. So tonight is no different. Tonight we're going to encourage you how to shake it off and pat it down. Oh, that's interesting, Ella. I know. Listen, you don't want to miss this one. This is going to bless your socks off, like for real. So I want you to do me a favor, like right now, while we're waiting, I want you to share the broadcast, grab you something to drink. Again, we're still not going to be long tonight, but this is going to bless you, and you definitely don't want to miss anything, because tonight we're going to learn how to be resilient and how to face adversity, how to overcome it, right? I just truly believe that it is very hard to confront something, to overcome something that you can't confront, right? You have to be able to confront it to overcome it. That's what I'm trying to say. So we're going to confront some things tonight. Some of you are going to be able to relate to this message, and it's going to bless you. So while you're taking this time to go and share this broadcast and tell someone that the Ella Johnson Show is on, we'll be right back. Okay, don't go anywhere. All right, I know you might go get your popcorn. You may have to go get something, or make a phone call real quick, or whatever you got to do. But just don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's time for the Ella Johnson Show. I'm so excited that you've taken time out to tune in to the Ella Johnson Show. I hope you enjoy the broadcast. So sit back, relax, and I'll see you at the end of the show. One day someone asked me, Ella, why do you do talk shows? Why is this so important to you? I said, because I want people to know that God does use us. Because sometimes things don't happen to you. They happen through you. And now it's time for the Ella Johnson Show, where we set the table for real talk conversations. So stay tuned. It's all coming up next. The Ella Johnson Show. all right. We're back. We're back. Listen, I want to make sure that I jump right in tonight because tonight's Mahogany Motivational message is going to change the way you look at adversity. And isn't that what motivation should do? You should go in one way, come out a different way. So I am praying that God will use this message tonight to help you see adversity in a different light, right? Because that's what this is all about. That's what I'm here for. If I'm not doing that, then I need to just go ahead and take it to the house. But no, we're not going to do that. Tonight, you are going to understand that what things are thrown at you, things are thrown at us, but God means it for our good. We talked about that last night. So this is going to be a little bit of that as well. I'm going to show you guys how to shake it off and pat it down, right? Okay. Let's get into it. I'm excited because this is one of my favorite motivational messages, and you guys are going to get that tonight. And it's about the donkey that fell in the well. And I'm going to use that to show you how to be resilient and overcome adversity. Because we think that stuff is thrown at us and we just got to take it. I truly believe that life is 10% of what happens to you, but 90% of how you respond to it. Yeah, it doesn't stop there. Your story isn't over just because dirt is thrown at you. It's how you handle that dirt. What do you do with it? Right? So we're going to talk about the donkey that fell in the well. Farmer is walking in the village one day, and he has his donkey with him. The donkey's, he's riding the donkey or whatever, but the donkey's tired. So he gets off and walks alongside the donkey. Now, the donkey didn't see it coming, but there's a well up ahead, and the donkey fell in it. Now, I'm going to tell this little story, but I want you guys to understand that your spiritual walk is relatable to this donkey. Oh, wow, this is going to be interesting. I can't wait to see how Ella unpacks this. Stay with me. Don't go anywhere. Don't try to get on the phone. You got to pay attention because this is going to bless you tonight. So the donkey fell in the hole. In life, don't we get ourselves in some ruts? Hello. If the lights won't say amen, I will. I have gotten myself in some ruts. I've gotten myself into some positions that have felt like it's hard to get out of. I know I'm talking to the right people. You guys have experienced that as well. This donkey fell in the well. Now, mind you, the farmer is looking down at the donkey and he's like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And of course, that's his donkey. So he wants to get him out. You have also been like this donkey, just walking along in life. And all of a sudden, it just seems like the world falls underneath you. Now you're stuck. You're in a situation. You don't see any way out, just like the donkey. So he's way deep. I mean, he's like 6, 7 feet down. The farmer can't just put his hand and pull him out. He can't even just put a ladder and pull him out. So he's looking at the donkey. He goes and gets people in the village to see if he can help him get him out. People in your life see you in a hole. There are people in your life know you're in a hole and know that you can use some help, but they're just looking over at you. Now, mind you, this donkey is sitting here like, ain't you going to do something? That's how you do too sometimes. You know that people see where you are. They have the resources to help you and won't. Okay? You're going to learn about yourself tonight, others, and about God. Okay? So he's looking over there, and just like people in your life, the farmer decided to assess the situation. Y'all know y'all got those people that see your situation and think they know. They think they know what's best. They think they can figure it out. They think they're God. They're just gonna name it all what it is. So the farmer did the same thing that some of your friends do. He looked down in that hole and he said, well, I can't get him out. Listen, he's old. He's probably had his best years. Y'all pay attention. He doesn't really have anything else to add. I mean, he's done all he's going to do. Like, how can God use this donkey now? He's all washed up. People say the same things about you. They see you, they don't see your value. They think that you've had your best years. You don't have anything else to add, just like the donkey. So he assessed the situation and decided, let's go ahead and just close up this hole. What? You mean the farmer? This donkey has given him the best years. You've been riding me all these years. I've been taking you to places and doing things for you. And now when I need you, hello, somebody, you just rather see me die. So the farmer is deciding, let's just bury him. He's going to die anyway. And besides, we need to make sure and close up this hole so it doesn't happen to anyone else. So now he's trying to get self-righteous, like he's doing a favor. So at this point, this farmer looked at this donkey, and it didn't matter what the donkey had done for him his whole life. You have people right now in your life that may be even living with you, that you're helping and you're doing for. And as soon as you need them, they rather just watch you die than to help you. Your life isn't over, though, and I'm going to show you how. So he goes and solicits other people in the village and tells them, we need to close this hole up. Now, mind you, the donkey's down here. He's crying, just crying his eyeballs out. He wants to get up out of this hole. He's looking up at the farmer. And imagine what he's saying, the same things you would be saying. You mean to tell me I helped you out when you needed? I gave you rides. I fed you. I let you come and live in my home. I helped you get where you are today. And now that I'm old, you think I don't have any value because you said I don't have any value. And now you see I'm in a rut and you can't do any better than this than to just let me cry out to you and you're not trying to do anything. Here's what he did, which is the same thing people do to you. He said, I'm going to bury you and this is all going to end. So he solicits the people in the village and they start throwing dirt over in the hole. They figure after a while, he's going to stop crying. He's going to die. And the hole will be covered and no one else will be able to fall in this hole. He thought he knew better. You are walking and living and trusting people right now that are assessing you, thinking you have nothing else to add. And this is what they say. Just let them die. So the donkey at this point could have said, to hell with it. You at this point could say, to hell with it. You could. You could easily just say, you know what? I'm not going to try anymore. I'm not going back to school to get a better education. I'm not going to go for that other job because they say, after a certain age, there's no way you're going to make that kind of money because nobody's going to want to hire you. You could tell yourself the same things that these people say. That's why it's so important to not only know who you are, but know whose you are. Y'all going to get that one. You got to get that one. Because this donkey and you need to not only know who you are, but you have to know whose you are. And I'm telling you, a lot of situations in your life will look differently if you get that. So they're throwing the dirt in the well. The donkey is like, I know they didn't. Yes, they did. Throwing the dirt. But the donkey had two choices, just like you. You're either going to take it, die, roll over, quit, take your little bag and go home, or you're going to fight. You're going to trust God. You're going to ask God for wisdom to know what to do next when people are coming after you, because they are going to come after you. If you haven't experienced that dirt, you will. Keep living. Some of you are having dirt thrown on you right now as we speak. So this word, this message tonight is going to encourage you. Do like the donkey did. You know what he did? Every time they threw dirt in that hole, he would shake it off and pat it down. That was a shout moment. You missed it. If you ain't shouting right now, you missed it. The dirt was getting on the donkey. He was shaking it off and patting it down. You know why? Because he was using that dirt to step up higher and higher. Oh, wow. I need y'all to get this right here. People are throwing dirt on you. Use it. Use it. And I want to show you something too. As they were throwing the dirt on the donkey, he was getting quiet. He wasn't crying anymore. So they thought he was dead. And see, that's what happens. And that's why it's sometimes good to be silent, because it tricks your enemies. See, when people know they're throwing dirt on you and they're doing all this stuff to try to harm you, and as long as you're yelling and whining and complaining, they know they got you. See, the devil is not going to go after someone who doesn't have anything to lose. Why would he? He already got you. So if the devil is after you, it's not because you did something wrong. Hello, somebody. It's because you're doing something right. I really need you guys to get that. Stop thinking that because the devil's after you, you don't have any value. He wouldn't come after you if you didn't. That's just like a robber going to a bank. You think he's going to worry about trying to get into the vault that's empty? Hello? No, he's not. Somebody's after you is because you got something that they need or that they want. So let's get back to the story. So he's shaking it off and patting it down. He's using the very thing that the enemy tried to use to kill him for your good. So after so long, the farmer throwing the dirt, and all the people in the village throwing the dirt down in that hole, he had shaken it off and patted it down so much. Guess what he was able to do? Walk right out of that hole. Guys, listen, real talk. Zig Ziglar, it's a quote that I really, really like. I love reading his quotes. He said, "It's not what happens to you that determines how far you will go in life. It is how you handle what happens to you." See, when the donkey was crying, the farmer knew that he was suffering. And the farmer was okay with that. People, when you're crying and you're making noise and you're complaining and you're falling apart and taking anxiety pills because you just cannot handle life, the enemy that's trying to bury you is happy. It's when you're quiet. Oh, see, when the donkey got quiet, they thought he was done. Sometimes maybe you just need to shut your mouth. Make people wonder what's going on. So they were amazed. Imagine how amazed they were when they looked up and the doggone donkey was walking out of the well. Isn't that an interesting story? Isn't that an interesting way to look at life? Resilience is necessary when it's time to overcome adversity. This donkey could have given up. You could give up. You could. And they will win. But that's not the will of God for you. When someone is doing something to harm you, use it. Last night, we talked about this very same thing in a lot of ways for your good. I can't stop emphasizing this enough. That things that are happening around you, stop trying to size God up like he's on our level. He's not. He doesn't think the way we do. His thoughts are not our thoughts. His ways are not our ways. This donkey understood that. Now, you may be in a hole thinking that God's just going to throw a rope down at you. Maybe, just like the donkey, everything you need is already in the hole with you. Right? Y'all get that? You are looking for this thing to fall out of the sky. I'm telling you, I really believe this in my heart. I believe that the answers to our problems are in the problem. I know. Like, Ella, that just doesn't make any sense. I know. But it makes faith. It really can make sense if you think about it. That donkey was down in a hole. Nobody was throwing ropes over there. Nobody was throwing ladders over there. Nobody was throwing, the ambulance didn't come. The firefighters didn't come. He had to use what was in the battle with him. And in this case, it was the dirt. The very thing that was sent to kill him was the thing that he used to win. I hope you guys get it. I really do, because I'm telling you, you really do have to understand what it takes to be able to get up and get out. But one thing you can't do, you can't give up. And Lasagna Kid, my friend right here, just said it. You can't give up. That should never be an option. And I know that sometimes it's like, but Ella, you don't know what I've been through. Ella, I've been through stuff you haven't seen this type of stuff. Nothing's too hard for God. That's one thing I do know. And I do know that sometimes in life, people will let you down. They will. Don't put the pressure on people, though. Here's a different way to look at it. Put the pressure on the word. Yeah. Don't put pressure on people. That's not your job. Put pressure on the word, because the word has to work. If the word doesn't work, then we all just need to give up and just go on home and be done. But I know it does. But you got to try it. Right? It's just like when you're in a basketball game. There are 5 people on that court. There's not 5 people on the team, but there are 5 people on that court at that time. What are the other people doing? The other people are waiting, because at some point in that game, somebody's going to foul out. I see Stephanie Richardson just joined the party here. Stephanie, thank you. And you being a basketball star, you understand what I'm talking about, because this basketball story is another way for you to learn how to wait. Wait your turn. God is going to call your number at some point. Somebody's going to foul out. Somebody's going to get in trouble. And when it's your turn, you got to rely on your training. It's just like going into battle, right? When you're going, it's like when you're going into battle, you have had basic training. Basic training is not just to make you, it's not to just tickle your fancy and make you do whatever. It is to prepare you for the battle. And then once you're in the battle, you have to rely on your training. And see, what happens is when God is trying to teach us, we don't want to listen. See, it's a lot easier to learn when nothing's really going on in your life. But then we want to try to learn when all hell breaks loose. No, I mean, I will say this. One thing I know for sure. When all hell breaks loose in your life, that is the time to praise God. And I know it doesn't seem like it feels good. This thing is not about how you feel. I'm telling you, there's so much power in being able to praise God when all hell has broken loose in your life. That's real. Lois says, it's so true. Yes, but God will never let us down. Okay. I am loving how you're breaking this down. Thank you, love. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Stephanie says, yes, and seize the moment when you get in. Amen. I like that. Seize the moment when you get in, because, you know, I think about a basketball game, Stephanie. I think about this because there are a lot of different people involved at that game, just like there's a lot of people involved in the game of life. What happens is we like to listen to the people in the stands more than the people in the game, more than our coach. He has been trained to teach you how to play the game of basketball and how to win in tough situations, just like the word of God does. It teaches you how to win in life. But we're so busy worrying about the person in the stands who doesn't have the nerve or the courage to get in the game. We'd rather listen to them. That's how we do in life too. You got these people that aren't doing anything in their life. They don't care about doing anything, but they love to try to break down somebody else's. You're in the game, but they're in the bench. They're in the stands, and they're trying to tell you what to do, right? So I wasn't meant to be here long tonight. Like I said, these are my mahogany motivational moments. They're quick messages about something that I like to use to encourage you to not give up. And tonight's message was very clear. Life is 10% what happens to you, but 90% how you respond to it. And in this story, the donkey decided to shake it off and pat it down. And he had enough dirt to be able to get out of the hole that the enemy sent to destroy. I suggest you guys stop whining and start winning. Stop worrying about what people are doing to you and be more concerned about how you're going to respond to it. Use the wisdom of God to know how to get up out of your holes in life. Because all of us have been there. Joseph was in one, and God used it to get him to the palace, from the pit to the palace. Like I said last night, we love those palace moments, but we sure as heck don't like those pit moments. But the pit holds the promise. But you can't be afraid to be there. As long as God is with you, it's a fixed fight. It's a fixed fight, no matter what. All right, guys? Well, we're going to come back, Stephanie, the next time I do these messages. I would love and welcome you and Lois and Lasagna, any of you, to join me so you can break it down with me. And if you want to come on, even if you want to come on now, just put a message there and say, yeah, I'll come on. I'll bring you on. I'll send you the code to get in. Okay. If you want to do that. But I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show for these quick moments. I would be like the donkey, shade it off and keep going. That girl, yes, absolutely. That's what I want you guys to start doing with the bricks they throw at you. Build a house, okay? Like, you know what? That looks like a good one. Because I'm gonna tell you something. When you give God praise through your situations, it confuses the enemy. He's like, wait a minute. This is something that was supposed to take her out. Remember what I told you last night? God allowed that to happen to Job, because I felt like that was the most important part of the message, Stephanie, because a lot of times we hear the story of Job and we think about double for your trouble. We think about Job was sick so long till the flesh fell. All those things are true. Yes. But the most important thing in Job that I learned, talking about me, is that it had nothing to do with Job, because it's easier to believe that Job sinned and that God brought that on him. But we don't want to believe that God encouraged the devil to do it. We think, but that's not like God. And what did I say last night? God allowed that to come on him because he knows what he put in him. What did God keep telling Job? Telling the devil. He says, no, I know what he's going to do. I know he's not going to turn away from me. I know that. And see, you want God to be able to say that about you. Don't be so angry because he wants to use you like he did Job. What do you think happened? Why do you think the people, and Stephanie can tell us this because she's the minister here. Why did Pharaoh's army go after the people that he just freed? Who do you think put that in his head? I'm not going to say it. That's another message. God always has a plan. It's always about him getting the glory. Okay? He allowed this to happen to Job because he had a plan. Exactly. God knew he would tribute. That's right. God knew. He said, I'm going to allow this to come on him because I, as his father and his creator, I know what I put in him. If God can say that about you, how far would you guys get? I'm going to say this and then I'm going to get out of here. How far would you get if God said, I'm going to take all your transportation, and the only way you're going to get to the next level is to walk by faith? How far would you get? Think about that. Because it's easy to walk when you have all the means. But if the only way to walk is to walk by faith, how far would you get? If God had to talk to the devil right now and say, I'm going to allow you to do everything you want to Ella, but you can't kill her, would God be able to brag on you? Because I'm going to tell you something. The devil is very committed to what he's doing. He knows his job is to kill, steal, and destroy. How committed are you? He can't be more committed than you are. Just saying. I said I was going to go, right? I just get so encouraged because I've lived long enough to know there is no way in this world that you are going to be able to get around and do all of this that we talk about by being encouraged, don't give up, and all that stuff. You can't do it in the flesh. Don't rely on your flesh. In fact, ask God to kill your flesh. Because when you're fleshy, you get tired, you complain, you do all this stuff that can turn this thing around for you. But you have to be careful about the stuff that you see. You have to be careful about the things that you hear, because what gets in your heart is what comes out of your mouth. And what happens when you speak things? They come to pass. It's time to reverse that. All right, guys. Well, I am going to get out of here. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and being here with me for this little short take here from Mahogany Motivational Moment. But I will be back again. I'm not sure. Maybe the weekend at some point I'll be back when God gives me something else. But I welcome you guys. If you really would like to be a part of this and share your views about these Mahogany Motivational Moments, and if you have something you'd like to bring here to the show, I welcome you. Please hit me up and say, hey, Ella, the next time you go on, I want to go on there with you. And I just want to congratulate you, Stephanie, on your new book. You guys haven't gotten it. Stephanie, please do me a favor and put the link in this show so that people can go and get your book. And perhaps you can come on and we could talk about your book. Listen, I love my hometown authors. When anybody that writes a book, in fact, starting next month, I'm actually going to start interviewing authors. If you're an author, if you're someone, if you're a writer in any kind of way, or a motivational speaker, whatever, I want you to be here on the Ella Johnson Show. There's enough of good word to go around. Let's encourage people. Let's make 2025 be the best year ever. Okay, guys, I love you. I love you so much. And I'll see you again right here on the Ella Johnson Show. See you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show. We'll see you next time.
We are supporters of the Ella Johnson Show. We live in South Korea. We have been watching Ella Johnson Show for like a year now. And we love her show. Her show is very inspirational, motivational, and educational.
If you would like to be a guest on the Ella Johnson Show, send an email to theellajohnsonshow@gmail.com or send a text message to 407-334-6997.
We love Ella Johnson Show.